just a sweet little guy. You're just a sweet little girl. Yeah. Oh, hello. Hey everyone, another wonderful week here. I'm warming the tractor up to get feeding, and before I get to that, Hank here, he's got a bit of an eye problem, so I've been giving him some infection drops. He does not like it very much, I'll tell you that. Yeah. Yeah, that doesn't feel very good, does it? Oh, sheep. Look at these two. You need to learn to get along. You guys are pen mates. No sense fighting through the panel. Really intelligent animals, I tell you. Anyway, this morning, these two... Oh, this guy's so cute. I gotta show you. Look at this guy. Oh, look at him. Just this cutest. Soft fur. I like his coloring. It's really sweet. Right? Yeah. Oh, yep. Why sheep have to be that way? Not you though. You're just a sweet little guy. You're just a sweet little girl. Sorry about that. My bad. Good mother's very concerned what I'm doing. Boy, you're cute. Aren't you cute? Anyway. Okay, so this one, that one is its sibling. Those two were born outside this morning. These three were born in here. This rambunctious one, she was born down below with a single. So when I go and feed down there, I'm gonna run through, I'm gonna walk through all the bags behind the bunk. That's a good time to do that. And if there's full bags, we're gonna have to bring them up and sort them out because the weather's supposed to change again tomorrow. So I gotta stop having lambs outside. Anything with a bag needs to be in here. We got lots of room for them. It's just been nice when it's warm that I can have them outside, and there's really no downside to that. If they're good mothers and they have their lambs, they're healthy, they got lots of straw, there's no wind, no issues like that. So we're gonna get all the individual pens fed and keep feeding for the morning. So just some quick numbers explaining why I feed with a feed cart. My ration is about 6-7 pounds of silage, half a pound of straw, half a pound of canola meal, 2 pounds of barley, and 2 pounds of alfalfa silage. Valuing that together at market value, materials only were about 63 cents per sheep. That's extremely rough numbers, but just for an idea. If I fed everything pail-fed barley and hand-bombed small square bales of hay, which is a very expensive way to buy hay, feed costs on that alone, just for the feed, not counting equipment or delivery or anything, would be 93 cents. So we're talking 30 cents a day per sheep, just in the barn here, if I was to do it that way. I used to do it that way, and then I saved up when I switched to TMR, bought a feed cart, and I deliver it this way now. So at 30 cents per sheep, we have pretty much 100 sheep in here from January 1st to, well, really the middle of April. So call it 100 days times 100 sheep times 0.3, which is 30 cents a day per sheep. We're talking a $3,000 savings just from that. So that more than paid for my feed cart. I'm already running the TMR mixer. I don't have to source any other ingredients. Everything's bulk fed here. It works pretty good and it pays very easily. Also, it's a whole lot less labor intensive. It is, I have to scoop it when I'm feeding the jugs, but I used to put a flake of hay in and a cup of barley in every jug. That took 2 or 3 times as long. They waste the hay more, and I would never go back from this system, I'll tell you that. But now that everybody's fed, a few of the jugs could use some more dry bedding. Also, had some premature, I think, lambs. This is a ewe lamb, and ewe lambs are extremely flighty, as you can see. She's nice and calm. Anyway, calm down, girl. But you can see this guy, tiny. Come here, buddy. Not really sure what to do with these guys. They're just gonna stay in the jug for a while because they're just way too small to be in a group pen. You got them that weigh 5 pounds, and then I had the single this morning that weighed 15 pounds. Like, how are they supposed to survive together? It's kind of a pain when that happens because it's just a bunch more work. But anyway, we're gonna get some bedding in here. when you're throwing straw like this, you want to hit the corner of the pen where there's no lambs. You want to hit the top of the ewe, because it's like fluffy stuff. If you land it on the top of the ewe, then it spreads out nicely as it falls apart. The camera's pointing, that one was perfect. Okay, that's good for now. We're gonna go outside, finish feeding, and because it's still frozen outside, it's a good time to put bedding out. So I usually put bedding after I feed, because then all the ewes are up at the bunk and they won't bother me. And I just spread it around with the tractor. I lost my phone somewhere in here, which is awesome. These are Bluetooth, so if I walk on either side of the barn, I start getting distorted, so I can tell it's in the center somewhere. I'm gonna guess it fell where I was spreading straw. Oh, there we go. Blackberries are hard to find, you gotta take care of them. So when I put feed out, it's a good time to check the bags of all of them if they would stand still. See one, it's pretty hefty but not too bad. Two, not too bad. Yeah, you feel them and they're real tight and they're getting close to lambing. I'm getting better at this. This is the first year I've done this. Every other year I'm just like, well, they're supposed to lamb in this time period, I should put them in the barn, but not this year. Well, it is important to keep everything dry as you can for mastitis sake, but because we're expecting periods of snow tomorrow, I think I'm gonna skip bedding today. They're not that bad. Oh, hello. We're getting Orph again, which is pretty standard. Orph is like chicken pox for all these lambs, but what I was saying, it's not that bad right now, so I'm expecting mud and a lot more moisture tomorrow for the sake of preserving straw and manure buildup in here. We're gonna just wait a day and see what happens. Some of these lambs are getting close to weaning. We're gonna wait a few weeks. I don't have enough pens for staggered weaning groups, and with lambing groups that were what they were this year, where it's like everyone's 1 week and then we wait 3 weeks and then everyone's the next week. I was expecting a nice gentle gradual movement of like a month-long lambing. They're just in these groups all at once, which is great. You have nice uniform lambs, but then you got a whole bunch that are heavy and then a whole bunch that are light. And because when you're weaning, it's important to step down the nutrition of the ewes to prepare them for the dry off period and again avoid mastitis. But I don't have enough pens for that, because in a perfect world, if I had another pen, I would sort everything that's used with lambs that have the older lambs, and then I could step them down, get them prepared for drying off and wean them. Like, look at that guy. That guy's a chonk. He's got to be 60 pounds. And then you got some guys in here that are still like 25 pounds. So they're all together. It is not ideal. It could be better. But one day it will be. You got to start somewhere. And it's a whole lot better than it used to be. One thing at a time, folks. You guys hanging out at the water? Hi, guys. Hey, Frank. Seth. So everybody's looked after outside for now. We had, I think, 6 ewes lamb overnight and this morning, so got my tube here, and I go through, write down all the numbers that need help. These guys look like they need help. check all the milk, and give anybody colostrum that doesn't have milk. It just looks like they're having trouble. Hey, hey. So she's got decent milk, but this guy, I saw him early this morning. He just wasn't looking real lively, so I'll give him a shot. I feel like you don't have milk. Hey. She has milk, doesn't have a lot of it. And this guy in the corner here, he's looking hungry. I'm late for lunch inside, but I'm not gonna die if I don't get my lunch. This guy might. Come here, buddy. Oh, you're full. And you're full too. Just you. That's good. You feel full. You both feel full. No kisses, no kisses. I only kiss two-legged girls. Hello. Alright, so everyone's got milk that was born this morning, and anyone who needed help has supplemented colostrum. It's nice and quiet in here, as you'll notice. It's a really nice change of pace. It was pretty rough last 2 weeks for me lambing. We got way overwhelmed when it was so cold, when they're all coming at once, and it's just brutal. The worst part was the orphan pen. I got way more multiples than I was expecting. I got overrun there, kind of got too busy trying to keep everything else going. They start to get sick, they go downhill. We're coming out of it now. It's just a nice picture when you see like lambs in a nice dry, fresh straw bedded area, ewes that have good milk. Everything in the barn's caught up. I'm kind of as busy as I expect to be. We've got another 18 ewes in here that are gonna lamb, and there's about 20 outside. Might try and move them in this afternoon. Boy, it sure is a nice day, and it's warmed up enough that the water's finally starting to drain out of here. I got quite a low spot in the middle of my feed alley. That's where all the water pools every year. But I mean, if it's gonna drain, that's not a bad thing, so. Hi, ladies. But the orphan lambs inside that have been weaned, I give them about a bucket every day of grain here. I use the same grain for pretty much every lamb at this point. Okay, next up, I'm going to extend the reach of this heat wave milk warmer here. I set up a new pen for all the new orphans. We kind of had some health issues with the orphans, with these guys. They're coming around, like I was saying. but I just want a segregated place for all the youngest ones. So I built it in the corner. I'm just gonna route a line to the back there, and then we'll set up some new nipple bars, so we'll do that right now. So all that's involved in this, I want to mount this about here, so make it level. These kind of jobs are just easy to do when you have the time. It's just a challenge to get the time when you're trying to get all the lambing dealt with and everything else. But this is my resalvaged Milwaukee drill that the lambs dumped in the milk bucket this year. But it's back working, which is good. Put that about there. Then you drill a second hole right above it. And use your zip tie. Okay, that's on there nice and sturdy. Now we just drill holes for these nipple holders. Sticks right through the back. Should be fine. There's just these little holes on the back side of this plate, because this is actually this is a nut. So the nipple sits on there, this screws it on. That's the nut. But there's little screws that we need to tie that on there. So that's on there. Looks pretty good. Now we're gonna run my newest idea. I'm not sure if this will work or not, but we're gonna run some lines from the machine all the way across the back wall, because I'm hoping it's not gonna be that cold anymore. If we ran a bare line just down there, it will definitely freeze, but I'm hoping that it's gonna be warm enough. Got my line here, drawing in, then it's going from the second coil, because there's two coils in that thing that heat milk, along this back wall. Then it hits into this Y here, and from the Y it goes to these filters. And these filters are a one-way valve, so it can't, I guess it's not a filter. Looks like a fuel filter, but it's like a one-way valve, so when they're sucking, it opens a little ball, they suck the milk in. If they stop sucking, it stops the milk from flowing all the way back. The milk looks good. Next up, we're gonna process a bunch of lambs. I got an appointment here this afternoon, but when I get back tonight, we're gonna pull a bunch and set them up and get them all rolling.